Alright, start in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And good afternoon and welcome to today's episode of Nutmeg Sports right here on the HAN Network. As always, I am Frank Granito and I'm joined by my partner Donald Eng. Don, a little bit of technical difficulties yesterday that kept us offline, but we're back and better than ever today.
As always, Frank Granito, maybe as most of the time, Frank Granito.
So obviously we had a little mix-up yesterday, but we've got a great show lined up for today, and Don, we've got a great guest lined up too, and we'll bring him onto the air right now. That is the new athletic director from Ridgefield High School, and that is Dane Street. Dane, thanks for taking time with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, guys.
Well, first of all, Dane, let's congratulate you on the new job. We're very excited to see what you do with that program. You just finished your first month at Ridgefield. How has that been?
It's been busy. It's always difficult in your opening stages as an athletic director at any department because there's just so many moving parts. And so getting to know everybody, talking with coaches from everything of program philosophy and goals and what you hope to accomplish on the big picture, all the way down to the details of day-to-day and busing and who practices where. I mean, you've got to get up to speed on all of it and do it rather quickly so that you're ready to hit the ground running come August. So it's been a busy first month, but a great one, and looking forward to what the fall season brings.
And obviously you came in July 1st. You were tasked with the job of replacing Carl Charles, who served as 10 years for Ridgefield High School. What can you say about what Carl did for the athletic program down there?
Well, Carl and we had some interactions when I was at Simsbury prior to this. We played a couple of times in different things, most notably, I think, girls ice hockey, where it falls to the ADs to help out with the scheduling piece a little bit more than some of the other sports. So, I knew Carl a little bit. Certainly had some transition time with him, which was fantastic, and that's the first time that I've actually had that in any of my stops as an AD. So it was great to get to see how he has set things up, and he's got a lot of great things in place here. Everybody around here seems to love Carl, and that's a blessing and a curse because the expectation is high. So hoping that I can step in and do him proud and continue some of the great work that he started here. He's in his 10 years here. It sounds like it really it did a full 180 from programs that just didn't have a whole lot of direction to he was able to get everyone on board with some of the things that he wanted to put in place, and so now it's my task to keep that going.
Now, Dane, you had a lot of success at Simsbury. In many ways, a similar school to Ridgefield. Demographically and athletically, with the with the hockey and the lacrosse and things like that. Why the move?
Well, my career has been a steady path that has been narrowing, and I'll explain what I mean by that. When I started at Watertown, I was a math teacher and a coach of 2 varsity sports for 12 years, and so over that time, I really started to kind of point my eye towards being an athletic director, and so my master's degree is the management of sports industries, and I really decided this is what I wanted to focus my career on is the work of an athletic director. And I wasn't sure when I first started if that would be at the high school level or at the college level or some other option. But as I went through my years, I got an opportunity to be the AD at Watertown. But, the AD job across the state takes on a lot of different forms. And so at Watertown, I was a head coach of 2 varsity sports. I was teaching 2 AP calculus classes, and I was the athletic director. So you can imagine how time-consuming that was and difficult to keep everything balanced. When I decided to leave there, which was not an easy decision either, and take the Simsbury job, it was because it was more of an opportunity to be focused on athletics. And after 4 years in Simsbury, where I was the director of athletics and student activities, this opportunity came up here at Ridgefield where it is athletics only. And so I kind of jumped at the chance to really get in board with a position that is solely focused on athletics. And so I'm thrilled to be here and thrilled that Ridgefield has given me the opportunity.
And obviously you had a lot of success at Simsbury, Dane, winning 2 of the Michaels Achievement Cup awards with the school. You moved from the Central Connecticut Conference, a conference that's twice the size of the FCAC. How do you think where do you think the FCAC ranks among the conferences in this state, and how do you feel being a part of it now, Dane?
I was talking to Dave Schultz about that the other day, and he asked me something similar, and I said, it's been interesting. I mean, each conference kind of has its own public perception of what it's about, and I started in the NVL, which is a pretty small conference. We only had 13 teams at the time, and then it has grown a little bit over the last couple of years. But going from a small conference like that, where everybody really knows everybody very closely, jump into the CCC, which, as you said, has 33 teams. It's the largest one in the state, and with that comes some challenges. You're dealing with schools that have their own agendas. A lot of people, have what's best for them in mind as a school, while also trying to balance that with what's best for the conference, and that can be a difficult thing when it's that large. But having said that, the folks at the CCC were great, developed some great relationships there with the athletic directors as well as our commissioner, Barbara Startup. The perception of the FCAC is that it is an elite conference, and I'm looking forward to getting to know that firsthand. I mean, certainly if you look at competitive standpoint and what the conference as a whole has been able to do in just about any sport across the board, very competitive. They kind of set the bar really high, and so I'm looking forward to being a part of it.
And we're very excited to have you. You guys, the last time we checked in with Ridgefield, we're still trying to fill the vacancy for your field hockey head coaching position. Has there been any progress in that search, and have you guys been able to find one yet, Dane?
We're nearing the finish line, I guess is the simple way to put it at this point. We've had a handful of interviews, and so we're very close to naming our next head field hockey coach. And I know it's taken a little longer than some people would like. It's certainly taken a little bit longer than I would have liked as well, but we want to make sure that we find the right person to fill that role. So hopefully we'll have some concrete news to get out to you guys and all of our other media friends over the next week or two.
Now, Dan, you mentioned earlier that you took over for Carl, and everyone loves Carl. We love Carl. Now, what kind of changes can we expect now with the transition from him leading the athletics department to you? And do you have any specific goals or anything for your athletic teams this year and for the athletic department as a whole?
Well, I think in terms of changes, I think it's important to kind of get a feel for how things are working first before you try to jump in and reinvent the wheel. So the first year that I spend will be a lot of learning the way things are going, and we may make some minor tweaks here and there. I don't anticipate making any huge changes right off the bat. I think the one thing that I will press is communication, and one of the things that I put in place up in Simsbury, which was very successful, and people used to comment on it a lot, was I was very active with Twitter, and so I found it was a nice way, coming from a small district like Watertown to a large district like Simsbury, I found it was a nice way to kind of connect the different teams and connect the people in the community to the different teams, and kind of give it that small school feel. And so that was something that was really successful there. I'm hoping that I can duplicate that here. If I checked my Ridgefield AD account at Ridgefield AD. I probably don't have too many followers at the moment, but maybe this show will help me boost that number up a bit. So that's certainly one thing that I'm hoping to put in place right off the bat to improve the communication in terms of what's going on with our different teams and how each team is faring on a day-to-day basis. Other than that, I mean, again, it'll be a learning process to see if there are some things that need to be changed. Carl, I'm sure, had the same viewpoint that I do, which is really it's just a focus on sportsmanship, and that's from our student athletes, but as well as our coaches, but our fans as well. I know fan bases can be very passionate, and it's really about connecting with the kids and with the people in the community so that they are supportive of your program, but do it in a way that is appropriate and can be a lot of fun for everyone. So those are some of the things that I would say maybe, not necessarily changes from the way Carl did it, certainly on the sportsmanship front, but things that I'll be focusing on. As far as goals for the department as a whole, I think if I was going to boil it down, I'd say it would be three things. It would be for all the student athletes to be positive role models, not only in the high school, but for the community as a whole. Little kids look up to these kids, and they need to recognize that and understand that being a part of the Ridgefield, that'll work its way out eventually, being a part of the Ridgefield High Athletic Department is something to be taken seriously. The second piece would be to be sportsmanlike at all times, and again, that's on the field, but also in the stands. And of course, we want to be competitive. So if we're able to get through a season or a year, and all three of those things have been accomplished, then that'll be a success in my book.
And obviously academics plays a huge role for you too. You're a former teacher, and I know that's part of the reason that Ridgefield was so interested in you, so I'm sure they're excited about that. We talked a little bit about the facilities down at Ridgefield High School and what you've got going before the air. Is there a certain game or a certain team you're really excited to watch this year and playing in a certain stadium or one of the facilities you've got?
Well, certainly I'll be looking forward to watching all of our teams play. I mean, I feel like you're trying to nail me down here, so if I had to pick one team, I'd probably say the Pittsburgh Steelers, but just to play it on the safe side. But, as we've kind of alluded to, it's a great school. It's a great department. There's a lot of really competitive teams and teams that should do really well this year. So I'm looking forward to getting a piece and seeing all of our teams compete and hopefully supporting them in a way that helps them be successful through their regular season and well into the postseason.
Well, Dan, we want to thank you very much for taking time with us today. Congratulations again. We're very excited to seeing what you do at Ridgefield High School, and we're very excited to be down there at Tiger Hollow some point in the fall or down at the gymnasium. We're working with you and seeing the Tigers participating in competition.
Sounds good. Thanks, Frank. Thanks, Don. I appreciate the time.
No problem. That was Dane Street, the new athletic director for Ridgefield High School. We will step aside here on Nutmeg Sports. When Don and I get back, we'll take a little transition over the baseball diamond and into some local youth sports right here on the HAN Network.
For more than 50 years, Triple S has been Fairfield County's expert service for carpet, upholstery, and drapery cleaning. We provide the best in repairs and in-depth restoration, understanding fabrics and how to properly clean and restore them. Our staff will come to your home to clean your wall-to-wall carpet to perfection. We can also pick up your fine carpets and bring them to our facilities. With locations in Norwalk, Stamford, and Stratford, Triple S will get the job done fast, big or small. At Triple S, you can count on our people as well as our cleaning. Find us at triplesclean.com or 203-847-8000.
I really wanted something that felt like a home. Coming from a big house, I wanted the feel of a home as opposed to a condo. My property taxes on my single-family home were close to $20,000 a year. Now that I've downsized and I'm in a townhome, and because of the condo tax laws, my fees have gone from $20,000 down to about $5,300 with the star exemption. There is no other townhome that compares in the area. This is where I want to be.
Have a sports injury or a slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
I'm Denise DiGregoli, the host of The Drive on the HAN Network. Join me Tuesdays for some motivational, intelligent talk with a little humor as we visit with people who live their lives mindfully. Tune in to The Drive live on Tuesdays, 12:30, here on the HAN Network.
Give your day a jumpstart with the latest news, sports, weather, and more on Coffee Break, live on the HAN Network, weekdays at 11 a.m. Connecticut news doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break.
And we welcome you back to Nutmeg Sports here on the HAN Network, along with Donald Eng. I'm Frank Granito, and Don, we transition now from the AD's office to the gymnasium, where the Lakewood Trumbull YMCA gymnastics team just finished up competing out in California. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, you know, it's the Lakewood Trumbull YMCA, which is Trumbull and Monroe, but they have kids participating from all over the state, really, from as far away as Milford and some of the other points up north and east. So the Lakewood Trumbull YMCA, a branch of the Central Connecticut YMCA, the gymnastics team finished out its season at the National Championships in Long Beach, California. The Y sent 6 gymnasts to compete in the 3-day event. About 2,000 other gymnasts from more than 100 YMCAs across the country competed. Zozia Kokab of Monroe came home as the national champion, taking first place for level 5 in the senior division with an all-around score of 36. She finished out the competition placing first on the vault and the uneven bars, and then third on the floor, fourth on the beam. Lindsay Capobianco of Milford, who was level 6, placed 6th in the all-around, second on the beam, fourth on the bars, 7th on the vault. And Callan Vaughn, a level 6 gymnast from Trumbull, placed 5th on the vault, 4th on the beam. And also Talia Lally, Alyssa Lally, both placed 5th and 6th on the uneven bars and the vault, respectively. So, really fun story coming out of the Lakewood Trumbull YMCA.
It's a fun story. It's an incredible job by those girls all summer long, not only just winning Connecticut, but winning New England's, going out and competing at Long Beach the way they did, representing New England. So congratulations to the Lakewood Trumbull YMCA, and we wish them the best of luck and look forward to seeing all those competitors over the next few years as they make their way through the rest of youth leagues and into the high school level. Transitioning over to baseball now, the Milford Hunters played in the National Amateur Baseball Federation Northeast Regional Championship on Sunday afternoon and came up just short. Rob Rodriguez earned MVP honors, and the New Rochelle Robins won the tournament with a 7-6 come-from-behind victory over Milford at Quigley Stadium in West Haven on Sunday afternoon. Rodriguez, who earlier hit a 2-run home run, knocked in the tying run with a single and scored the winning run on Rob Martinez's 2-out base hit in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Robins will represent the Northeast in the NABF Major Division World Series to be held in Battle Creek, Michigan from August 4th to the 7th. So unfortunate, Don, that Milford comes up a little short and they fall to the New York team of New Rochelle. But we congratulate New Rochelle and wish them the best of luck as they head out to Michigan hoping to win a World Series title.
And it's a very high level of baseball that you see, like in the Senior City League and some of these twilight leagues. A lot of these guys are in their 20s, early 30s. You know, they're like former high school or collegiate baseball players, not quite ready for slow pitch softball. Still getting out there and playing competitively. So that's a lot of fun.
You're right, and it was an absolutely incredible game. It's a tough way for Milford to lose that one, being up, and you see it fall in the bottom of the 9th inning. But credit to both teams. They put on a great showing in the championship of what was a great tournament, and like you said, very competitive. But if we want to talk competitive, let's shift over from baseball now, and you've got a little softball action for us.
Yeah, the Stratford Briquettes will open their title defense Thursday at Frank DeLuca Hall of Fame Field down in Stratford. The 8th annual Women's Major National Softball Championship Tournament. 7 teams in the field. That goes from Thursday through Sunday. All games will be at DeLuca Field. John Stratton's Briquettes come in with a record of 45-2, pending a game tonight. Joining the Briquettes in the tournament, there's pool play Thursday and Friday. Also, you have the Briquettes, the St. Louis Saints, the NYC Havoc, the Lions Spirit, the Duchess Debs, the Connecticut Seahawks, and Team Connecticut. So a very good field there. 2 of those teams actually are responsible for 2 of the Briquettes' losses this year. So bracket play starts Friday with the quarterfinals. 7 sessions in all. Tournament passes will be on sale for the entire tournament. Briquette season ticket holders will receive a $5 discount on tournament passes. And here's a neat thing, all youth league teams, players, and coaches will be admitted for free for the tournament. You can get more information about that at briquettes.com.
And that'll be a great game. Awesome to see them doing so well. The Briquettes, we talked about them last I believe it was last week, we were talking about the
Battle of the Sexes.
Yes. So fun to see them. We'll actually have a little bit of a Bluefish update when we get back, but first we're going to take a break here on the HAN Network. Don and I will be right back with Nutmeg Sports after this.
Warm weather, light breezes, boats are in the water. There's no better place to celebrate summer than the Dock Shop. Whether in Darien at 51 Tokenique Road or Westport at 609 Riverside Avenue, the Dock Shop is where you'll find everything you need to kick off summer. From the latest summer apparel to the newest fishing tackle, the Dock Shop will help you get the most out of your next beach day or harbor cruise. At the Dock Shop, you'll find a wonderful selection of items made in the USA and right here in New England, all with a distinct nautical flair. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the coastal lifestyle, this is a unique place to shop. DockShop.com.
Walter Stewart's Market in New Canaan is your time-saving local shopping destination for the best of spring. Find many of your favorite products, from great specials on everyday items to the freshest organic produce, artisanal cheeses, and grass-fed steaks. Drop off your knives to be sharpened, grab a beautiful bouquet of spring flowers, and stop in next door for a wine tasting. Plus, their personable staff is always ready to lend a helping hand. So stop in to Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street today, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
I really wanted something that felt like a home. Coming from a big house, I wanted the feel of a home as opposed to a condo. New Canaan is 6 minutes down the road. New Canaan's a beautiful little town to walk around. I work in Westport. My commute is 20 minutes. It's close to Westchester, where my family is, so the location is ideal. There is no other townhome that compares in the area. This is where I want to be.
I'm John Kovach. I'm a newspaper editor. I'm a high school football coach. I'm a television presenter. And I want you to love fishing as much as I do. Tune in to Yankee Fisherman, Thursdays at 1 on the HAN Network. It's like going to the tackle shop without leaving your office. I'm John Kovach.
We welcome you back to Nutmeg Sports here on the HAN Network, along with Donald Eng. I'm Frank Granito. We've got to look at some of the local baseball teams and how they're doing in their postseason play. Before we get to that, Don has got an update on a special Bluefish event that's coming up.
Yeah, former Major League pitcher and Roger Clemens will guest manage the Bridgeport Bluefish on Friday as the Fish take on the Long Island Ducks. Clemens will throw out the ceremonial first pitch, probably at about 90 miles an hour, and then participate in a pregame meet and greet with the fans. There will also be a limited edition Roger Clemens bobblehead giveaway for all fans that purchase season tickets or have purchased the 5-game bobblehead plan. Clemens, a 24-year Major League veteran, 11-time All-Star, 7-time Cy Young winner, led Major League Baseball in ERA 7 times, strikeouts 5 times, and wins 4 times. And this is actually not Clemens' first brush with the Bluefish. In 2012, at age 50, he came out of retirement, made his Atlantic League debut when he signed a contract with the Sugarland Skeeters of Texas, joining his son Kobe, who was a catcher on the team. Clemens in 2012 pitched in 2 games with the Skeeters, one of them against the Bluefish. He struck out 3 batters and allowed 3 hits in 8 scoreless innings. So an impressive performance there by the 50-year-old Roger Clemens. Game time is 7:12. The gates at the ballpark open at 6:12. You can buy advance tickets for $12. There's also a pregame meet and greet with Roger Clemens, $75 per person. That includes a ticket to the game, and you'll have the opportunity to take photos with him, and he will autograph 1 item if you bring it with you. The meet and greet is limited to 100 fans and will begin at 5:30, and you can get more information about all of that at bridgeportbluefish.com.
That's really cool, and we've seen the Bluefish do this before. Obviously, Jenny Finch was one of the bigger names that came out and was a guest manager, so it's a great event, really cool, and one of the best players, PEDs or not, that's for a different time to debate how you want to do it, but one of the best players of his generation, at least, if not all time. We transition now over to Little League Baseball, though, and we take a look at the Stanford Junior and Senior Legion teams who were playing for the state championships this past weekend. Both teams were matched up against RCP in 3-game series that came down to a decisive Game 3, and unfortunately, neither were able to bring home the crown. The 17 and under Junior Legion team was defeated 3-0 and no hit by RCP pitcher Austin Roy. It took Roy only 72 pitches with no walks, 3 strikeouts, and allowing only 1 runner in the game on an error. Roy was named the Legion Junior State Tournament MVP, while Bobby Zamarlak was awarded the state tournament's Best Hitter trophy for Stanford. For the Senior Legion squad, it was a story all too familiar as they found themselves back at Palmer Field in a winner-take-all game against RCP's Tucker Lord for the 2nd straight year. And again, Lord pitched his team to a state title as Stanford went home empty-handed. Lord pitched 8 shutout innings, striking out 11 while surrendering only 3 hits. Cole Orgazalik went 1-2-3 in the 9th for the save to finish off the 2-0 victory for RCP. He was also named the tournament's most outstanding pitcher, with Corey Baldwin taking home the tournament MVP honors for RCP. Both teams will now pack their bags and prepare for their regional tournaments in Rockland, Massachusetts, and Bristol, Connecticut, respectively.
Yeah, I feel a little bit bad for the locals. You know, they got to see those green and yellow uniforms, and they're like, oh, these guys again.
And Don, we've talked about it all summer long, how competitive baseball, not only in Fairfield County has been, but just in the state. And the northern teams, we saw Waterford back when we did the Babe Ruth State Championships down at Cubetta Field that put on a clinic. Fairfield American just qualified for the regionals for the Little League World Series. They'll start their quest up in Bristol. We've got a couple of Norwalk teams that are at regionals in the World Series. So it's from top to bottom right now in the state. Connecticut is doing very well, but You're right. RCP has got the number for Stanford Legion.
Yeah,
right now.
they play some good baseball up there in It's Rocky Hill, Cromwell, Portland. So it's up in that part of the state there. I just looked that up actually a little while ago. So, in other baseball news, the Norwalk 9-year-old Cal Ripken All-Stars were eliminated from the New England Championships on Sunday, falling 8-4 to Pembroke, Massachusetts, in its last pool play game of the tournament. So having won the Connecticut Championship, they were now eliminated. They lost their first 2 games in the tournament to Keene, New Hampshire, and then to Marlborough in their first 2 games. They finished out the summer with a record of 20 wins and 11 losses. So congratulations on a great season for the Norwalk.
They did have a really good year. They struggle when they get up to regionals, go 0-3. Keep in mind, Norwalk was actually the defending champion. Now, it's not the same group of kids, but the 10-year-olds who will begin World Series play on Friday this week, we'll have more on that on tomorrow's episode of Nutmeg Sports, won last year's regionals, but at the age of 9, you're not eligible to qualify for the World Series. So this is a new group of kids who goes up there, and they've got a target on their back that I don't think they were really ready for.
Yeah, no, they really weren't. I mean, it's as I said, it's the same town, it's the same uniform, but it's not the same kids. Although hey, look, there's no shame certainly in going 0-3 in pool play in a New England Championship tournament, having won the Connecticut Championships. So certainly, as far as Norwalk baseball goes, but you gotta like what you're seeing coming out of Norwalk. The future definitely looks bright for the Bears and for the Senators also, down a little bit down 95.
We were unable to have our guest Clark Jones, the head director of the Hockey Skills Academy, on yesterday due to technical difficulties. He will join us tomorrow on our show at 2 o'clock. We want to remind everyone, though, that you are able to sign up for the Hockey Skills Academy camp, which starts next week and runs through the rest of August at DarianeIceRink.com. That's DarianeIceRink.com. The camp will be run by Clark Jones and Sean Hurley, both former captains at Union College and Brown University, as well as former minor league hockey players and a couple gold medalist figure skaters who run that camp as well. For more information on that, we do ask that you tune in tomorrow, where we will have that interview with Clark starting at 2 o'clock. Don, that's about all the time we got. Anything you'd like to leave us with today?
Well, just that I'm really looking forward. It's a great time of year. The college football season about to start. We talked about that a little bit off the air. UConn, obviously the big dog in this state, pun sort of intended. But also, you have a lot of the smaller schools, the New Havens, the Southern Connecticut's. It's really a lot of fun this time of year as they're getting ready for camp. I'm really looking forward to that.
I believe it is 31 days until college football starts, which means that it is 37 days until we cover our first high school football game this year. So we have got a lot of exciting stuff going on. Training camps and preseason's about to start. Before you know it, we'll be rolling around on the FCX Tour. And at some point this week, I think we might have a teaser of where that first game is going to be hosted by the HAN Network. For Donald Eng, I'm Frank Granito. That's going to do it for this episode of Nutmeg Sports. We'll take a 23 half an hour break. Check back at 11 a.m. with Kate Chapunski for coffee break.